Go ahead. Yeah. Look at that. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing on this beautiful Sunday evening? The hotly anticipated video that I've probably been asked for more than any other video this entire year since last fall is how much did our leaf setup cost us? So in today's video, we're gonna hop exactly into that. All right, so let's just go ahead and hop right into it. So we're gonna run through the specs first here. The overall dump trailer is a 7x14 Liberty dump trailer. If you guys remember last September, you can go check that video out. Myself and TQ hopped in the truck and drove over to Indiana and picked that bad boy up simply because we couldn't get a trailer during COVID, guys. There were none available in our area. We got a hold of those guys. They actually contacted us through Instagram and they're like, hey, we can get you one, but you got to come pick it up from the assembly line. Everybody's having issues getting things delivered. So myself and TQ ran out there, picked that bad boy up. And these numbers are just going to kind of be very rough, but it was right around 9,000 bucks, a little bit under 9,000 bucks. 7x14 dump trailer. We did add some extra things onto that, so you could probably get it a little cheaper. You know, the wireless lift assist and stuff like that. We also got a backup lift that was installed in it as well. There's actually two backup lifts. But yeah, just a few extra little things, but then we went and picked it up. So right around 9,000 bucks for that. The second thing we had to get, which was another hard one to find, was the Billy Goat debris loader, 37 horsepower. And long story short, Schleyboss sells Billy Goat. And we went there, we said, hey, Ruben, we need to get this thing. And he's like, yo, these are extremely hard to find, especially this time of the year. And this is a big thing for any of you guys and gals that are in this industry. Don't wait till it's time to do something. So like fall season, don't wait till it's fall to try to do something. You need to be doing it way ahead of in advance. Like right now, you know, I know it seems very early that we're putting the leaf box and everything together a couple months early. It is. But we've learned over the years, don't wait till the last second because that's what everybody's trying to do it. And it's kind of like the spring rush. Everybody wants to get their mowers in, their trimmers in, and get them all maintenanced and tuned up. Well, that's the busiest time for the dealerships as well. So I also want to apologize a little bit for the lighting. I'll try to adjust it in the editing. I actually took some paper towels and put over this window to try to dim it down some. But this GoPro, man, I mean, whenever there's good light, it'll pick up light. Like watch, see the change right there? I'm blocking off one of the receptors, I guess you could call it. I don't know. I'm not that techie. All right, so hopping back into it, the Billy Goat 37, the big boy. I mean, there's no bigger ones out there for this realm before you go into like the crazy stuff for like the cities and townships and all that stuff that they use. So it was pretty much between a Skag. They had a big boy with a Kohler on it, and then they had the Billy Goat. And doing the research, you know, we just kind of developed that we wanted to go with something with a bigger tube. We didn't really want like the hitch mount trailer to pull it around. So we ended up finalizing with the Billy Goat. Not saying there's anything wrong with the Skag. Just simply this is the one we went with. And mainly it was because our dealership sells it. And we knew if we ever needed to get it maintenance, warranted anything, Schleyboss is the place to go. So I can't plug Schleyboss enough, guys, and this is we're not getting paid anything for it. They are just a great dealership out in Apple Creek, Ohio. If you get the chance, I have guys and gals now driving from out of state to buy mowers and stuff here, Pennsylvania, New York, and they have no complaints whatsoever because if something goes down, they get you taken care of, guys. All right, so the Billy Goat was just under $9,000 as well. I couldn't find that receipt to give you an exact number, but I believe $8,700. And then it ended up being just right around like 10.2 because I actually ordered another one of those tubes because with COVID, you just never know. Things are, you know, hard to get a hold of and this and that. And I'll give you a real quick example. I got this one and then a buddy of mine went in right after we did to get one and there was pretty much none around. You couldn't find them. And this was like September of last year. Long story short, Schleyboss ended up locating one up, I believe in Michigan somewhere, up in Detroit. Went and got it, brought it down here and got it for him. But there was only like 4 or 5 available at that time period. So don't wait, guys. Please trust me for anything. Don't wait. So we ended up spending just around 10 for that. But I'm only going to include 9 because the extra there is not something you have to have, the extra tube. I simply bought that just to have. So right as of there, we got 18,000 bucks, and this is all very rough numbers. I'm just giving you guys an idea of what it's going to cost you to build something like this. But before we hop into the exact overall build, because the fabrication, honestly, it ended up being a bit more than what I was anticipating, but we couldn't, we didn't know all the circumstances with COVID. A lot of things were hard to find, this and that. And labor in general was hard to get a hold of. So it was just a crazy year to build this. So I want to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about our original plan and our investment real quick here. Why we invested so much. Because I know some of you are going to be like, dude, that's way too much money for a leaf debris loader for a couple months, yada, yada, yada. And trust me, I understand that, and I can agree with you to a certain extent. But this is what myself and TQ last year, leaf season is becoming a very big part of our business. And I was just simply getting sick and tired of taking bags and dumping them. Our properties aren't getting any smaller. Our commercial side of everything is growing very rapidly. And we coined that to simply, we go above and beyond than what the typical larger company in our area, not saying they're doing anything bad, but when they send these crews in there, they don't care as much as the owners do. And yeah, I'm not saying that about everyone. There's a lot of great companies, a lot of good employees out there, but just in our area, we're tending to find that there's a lot of things being lacked on and slept on a little bit, and that's where we can kind of find our niche. So if we see a commercial property where something's not being done, we're going to start hitting that bad boy up August, September, October, November to try to see if we can get an estimate in there. And I highly recommend you guys to do that as well. If you're looking to get into commercial, industrial, any of that stuff, you got to be early to the game because they're planning right now for next year. They work in advance. So a little tip there for you guys as well. So overall, this is a 10-year build. That's what we called it originally. And you can say, well, where'd you come up with 10 years? The average longevity of the dump trailer without many issues is about 10 years. The big block billy goat debris loader, we assume 10 years easily getting out of this thing with some maintenance. All this stuff is going to require a little bit of maintenance. So 10 years easily, 37 horsepower engine. We're probably going to put maybe 50 hours, 75 hours a season on it. We should be able to get a long time out of it. And our estimate, 10 years, is a very conservative estimate as well, guys. So I kind of made some notes here just so I don't forget everything because I kind of tend to start rambling a bit. So I wanted to share this with you guys as well. So 10 years is our overall design length. That's how long we think we can have it where it's going to stay together, get beat up, but still be profitable. Okay, so 10 years. So first year, we did not make any money back, okay? All of our investment up front, we have not made a cent back. We have it planned here with what we did last year, and then going forward, we should start profiting about 3/4 of the way through our leaf season this fall, okay? We should start finally making our money back, okay? About 3/4. So the last quarter of this fall, depending on how much work comes in and stuff, we're finally going to start making some of that money back. So if any of you are thinking about investing a large amount of money, because this is a large amount of money into a piece of equipment that is going to be sitting short term, you have to make sure it is going to last a long, long time to make it worth your while, okay? So once we get 3/4 of the way through this season, we're going to finally start making some of our money back, okay? So we project the next 8 years with very little maintenance, that's what we have wrote down, that the next 8 years, it's all going to be profit. Now, obviously, the little bit of maintenance, employee fees, all that stuff going into it, fuel, all of that is going to eat into that sum. But we've recouped our money. Now we're on to what we wanted to originally do with the build overall itself, and that's to make money, because who wants to do anything if you're not making money? But just keep that in mind if any of you are thinking about doing any kind of build, buying any kind of equipment. How long is it going to take you to start recovering your investment? Okay, so we're projecting 10 years, okay, and 8 years of that being pure profit. We might get more, who knows, 10, 12 years from now, we might get 15, 20 years out of this setup. I don't know. We projected it on the low end, and that was just being very conservative, how long it was going to take us to recoup our investment. It's just like buying a house. If you buy a house and you're planning on selling it or, flipping it, renting it out, you're initially going to invest money into it, and it's going to appreciate in value, hopefully, and then you're going to recover your money back either through rental or selling it off. And it's just kind of the same thing, but not the same thing, because this is a depreciating asset. So we have to make money from it as fast as possible before it depreciates all of its value, if you guys get what I'm saying. All right, so moving on. Why did we choose aluminum? These are all questions that you guys have asked, so I'm just trying to answer them, and we've been asked these a ton. Why did we choose aluminum sides over steel sides, or just building a wooden leaf box? And simply, guys, I had my notes here from last year, and I just jotted it down here real quick. I priced the wood out last year for the 2x4s, 2x2s, everything, a net up top, and this was just a square box on the dump trailer. I priced it out at just under $1,300 for screws. I mean, everything to get it to where it needed to be and to keep it in pretty good shape. Plywood was extremely pricey. I hear it's even more pricey now. So that thing could probably be $1,500, $1,600 now. I didn't want to have to use it through the fall. The wood, I'm talking about wood. I didn't want to use it through the fall, get all dirty and grimy. Yeah, you can paint it, you can stain it, all that good stuff. I didn't want to take wood apart and then have it sitting around the house or bending, warping, all that stuff. If you guys notice, most people, they'll either have the whole entire box just sitting there in their yard or at their shop, and then they'll lift it, the whole thing up and put it on, or they'll put it back together in pieces. And I decided, just because, we're limited on space as of now, that I wanted mine to be in pieces. So why did we choose aluminum over steel? Well, the aluminum is far less weight, so we're going to save on fuel. We're going to save on just the overall wear and tear on the trailer of the walls, because you do get a little bit of flex in those walls, which are moving the dump trailer walls as well, okay? So taking as much of that weight off there, if you can imagine my arm being like a pivot, if this is a lot less weight and this is the dump trailer and I'm swinging this back and forth, even if it's just a little motion like this, over time that little motion could become a lot bigger motion and then start moving that wall itself. So we wanted to reduce the weight as much as possible. Not to mention, we wanted to be able to take it on and off, as you guys just saw in the last video. We're able to put it back on. I think it's 57 bolts total, but overall, the weight was the biggest issue, saving on fuel costs, and just how heavy overall the unit is, because weight does become an issue whenever you're building something like this. And there's laws and regulations, with CDLs and all this stuff, guys. Once you break that 26,000 1-pound barrier, you have to have a CDL now. And we didn't want to break that. We checked in everything here, and we're legal in our area. So that was just a few things there that made us choose aluminum over steel or wood. Not saying steel or wood isn't an option. I have buddies that have steel. I have buddies that have wood, and it seems to do okay for them. It just was not the way we wanted to go. So why did we choose the big block, the big boy, over, say, an 18, a 14, a 12? Simply, guys, I talked to a ton of guys in the community. This build is really a combination of a lot of information and other people's builds. Big shout out to Mike from Arrowhead. He gave me a ton of information on his box. His is made completely out of steel, and he did actually fabricated mesh design. You can check him out on Instagram. You can see his on there. His is literally steel mesh with little holes all through it, and he built it a lot like he built his, and we built ours a lot like his. Nickens Lawn Care, I talked with those guys, and they showed us how they kind of fabricated the back door to put the billy goat on the back there, and we designed ours a lot off of that. And big shout out to those guys. And there was a ton of other people as well that gave us information and just little tips and tricks. I know I'm missing a ton of people, but overall, man, just everybody in the community, we just nitpick little things that we like, this, that, got what they didn't like, things they liked. But overall, it's very fast. That's why we chose it. It moves a lot of material very quickly, and that is the game when you're in the lawn care, landscaping, leaf removal, curbside pickup game. You got to be fast, fast, fast. So that's where it comes down to. The cons of this unit after one season is this thing is not light whatsoever, guys. That tube will kick your behind, okay? I'm in pretty darn good shape. Yeah, I got a little belly around here, but I can't get rid of that. That's just my extra skin from my gastric bypass. But overall, my body and my build is in really good shape, trust me. And that thing will put a whooping on a grown man and woman no problem. So that's one of the cons. It is heavy and it's hard to move. Not saying it can't be done, it can. Just know you're gonna work. You are going to work and you're gonna be dirty from head to toe. You're gonna have dirt in places that you never knew it could exist. So, hopping back into just the number side of it, we got 9,000 in the dump trailer, just under 9,000 in the Billy Goat debris loader, and Fabrication came out at just over $8,000, guys. So if you round all those numbers up, 918 plus 8,000, you're roughly about 26,000, okay? Now, with that being said, that was just last year's cost pretty much up front, not including putting the tarp on there, bungees, all that stuff. Actually, no, we ended up getting the bungees from the fabricator. He gave us an entire box with the unit because we got the roof bows, the semi-roof bows to go with it. So all this stuff just added up. And the aluminum cost was the biggest part of it. Just buying the aluminum itself, the aluminum tubing, getting it all welded. Aluminum is not cheap. And so yeah, it just ended up being over 8,000 bucks roughly for that. So we were just right below 27,000 for just the leaf box, the trailer, the debris loader. Okay, that'll get you in the ballpark. Now you can do some things cheaper, some things different than we can, but that's going to get you in the ballpark. That $26,000 mark is roughly where you need to be. I'd say 25 conservatively, unless you can build stuff yourself and get materials for cheaper prices, you could probably save. So there you have it, guys. About 26,000 bucks will get you in the ballpark if you're looking to do something like this. First and foremost, make sure you have the work lined up that can handle something like this, and you're going to recoup your money back, because no investment is a smart investment if you're not making money at the end of the day. So yeah, 30,000 bucks, guys, probably 2021 will get you in the ball game and get you into the commercial side of leaf removal. Just remember though, guys, you don't have to build something exactly like we did. There's tons of other folks out there using 14, 16, 18 horsepowers that you can get for half the cost of our unit, and they're doing just fine because, you know, maybe they're just doing residentials. They're not doing commercials or anything like that. So don't let this video deter you whatsoever if you cannot get exactly what we have. Build your own, use plywood, use duct tape. I don't care what you use, as long as you're getting it done and you're being profitable and making money and growing your business, guys. So the long awaited video, how much did the leaf debris loader cost from top to bottom? There you have it, guys. It's about 26,000 bucks. We're not done just yet. It's gonna cost me a little more money with getting the tarp put on there, logoed out, but these are all things that we know that we're gonna recoup over time and make the business even better. So, hey guys, as always, keep mowing, keep growing, keep making money, boys. We'll talk to you later. TQ out. Peace. Bye.